today we are here with the award-winning MC Barber.
Hey everyone, this is MC Barber. In this video I'm going to do a haircut that was very popular in the late 90s. I'm going to do one on the side with a short top, comb forward, and flip the front up. So as usually I start all my fades with 1.5. I remove the bulk and I create the foundation for my fade, and for foundation for my haircut I want to ensure that my haircut comes out more towards the square shape. So here I'm removing the bulk. This is always my first step in any fade that I do. I like to start with 1.5. It is the easiest way to remove the bulk really, and the fastest way. Towards the end of the January, I will have on my website all the videos, all the techniques with my clippers, my clipper techniques, all the scissor techniques, and the razor techniques, and blow drying and styling available on my website, mcbarber.com. So this is my first step here in this haircut. My next step here is I'm using number 1 or 1/8 of an inch, and I'm gonna go about halfway only. Right there I'll stop around the occipital bone, or the widest part of his head. Since this haircut is not gonna go any shorter than 1. The reason I don't like to go with 1 all the way up as a first step, the transition between the fade and the long hair on the top, using 1, it really doesn't come out that good. Using 1.5, the way the 1.5 is shaped itself makes difference on when I do the freehanding. So that's the reason I really use 1.5 and then 1. So once I did 1, now I'm using 1/16 of an inch. Actually no, this is 1/16 of an inch, and my blade was open first and then I closed my blade. So removing that line, I used 1/16 of an inch. Here, as you see, my blade is open, then I close it, and it removes the line between 1 and 1.5. Keep in mind that 1 in plastic guards is slightly longer from 1 in the detachable blades. Even though both say 1, the plastic guards are usually longer. And there it is. The fade looks very good. That's number 1 on the side. Now I'm going to use 1/8 of an inch to just clean up slightly there. Using detachable blades, sometimes they leave here, there, back, behind, I would say, because the way because the teeth on the blade are so close. So I like to use the plastic combs afterwards, since the teeth on it are wider. Here I'm just cleaning up the hairline using the edge of my edges. Here I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a line. The line will be relatively square. I usually do not round the lines up, nor do I square them too much. I'm kind of in between, but more towards the square side than the round side. So I'll remove that corner slightly, but I will really not round it too much. Alright, so for the top I'm going to do scissor over knuckles. I'm going to take about 1.5 inches there, or a little bit more. I'm going to start from crown as usually, and I will be taking a quarter of an inch sections, so it is easier for me to follow my guide or to see my guide. And that also ensures the even cut all throughout the top. It is very important to learn how to properly open and close scissors so you can execute these techniques with confidence and ease. And a confident barber always makes the client feel confident in his chair. So it is very important that you learn how to properly use your shears, and not only your shears or scissors, however you like to call them, but as well your razor and your clippers and so on and so forth. Regarding whether you call scissors or shears, I know some people are very strict about it. They want to call them shears, other scissors. If you actually check Wikipedia, if you Google it, it seems that the more accurate name for them is scissors versus shears. Shears are usually called for the animals or something that you shear, like a fence or so on and so forth. But when it comes to hair, it says scissors. So I prefer calling them scissors, but really there is no difference whether you call them shears or scissors. Really there is no difference. It's what you do. It's what you do with them. So since this gentleman has very thick, coarse hair, I'm using a straight edge razor here just to break it down a little bit. It will smoothen it and will thin it out a little bit. And when he applies the gel or pomade, it will look a lot slicker. This haircut was very popular in the late 90s, but over the time it kind of disappeared. Here to connect the top with the sides, I'm using scissor over comb. Scissor over comb is the most commonly used technique in the barbershops and salons. However, it's quite difficult to master. The idea here is to keep your stationary blade parallel to the spine of the comb and only move your cutting blade, which you should move only your thumb to ensure that only your cutting blade is moving, as you can see there. Your shears shouldn't really open more than about 1.5 to 2 inches, and they should not fully close. here for a blow dry. I'm just going to blow dry it down. The hair will really stay down. I'm just blow drying it to make it dry. Blow drying is an art. This is very deceiving, I think, category of our industry. It seems like, you know, there is nothing to it. I mean, if I remember when my current coach for the world competition, Mr. Andrea Turisi, who was a world champion in 1984, saw me at a competition and he said to me, after the competition, he says, I see you can cut, but I don't know if you can finish. And meaning if you can blow dry and style. I was like, what does he mean if I can finish or not? So I went to see what he does in his place, and when I saw what blow drying and styling really means, I was like really extremely impressed. And myself, I was very behind. So I took over 30 classes on blow drying and styling. It really, I personally believe, is one of the most difficult categories in our industry to master. And there it is, folks. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe. mcbarber.com is my website. Until next time.
Hey, this is MC Barber. Thanks for watching my video. If you like my video, please subscribe. Even if you didn't like my video, subscribe anyway. I have many more coming. mcbarber.com is my website. Until next time, work hard, stay positive, and take care of yourself.